Welcome to Unit 7. This is the History of Missions Part 2, and it's a very exciting time of God's working and moving in the spread of missions. And one of those persons that God used was William Carey and the Serampore Trio. And I would encourage you, if you're able to, watch a video about the life of Carey and some of his co-workers. It's entitled Candle in the Dark, and it describes the work of Carey and those that took the gospel faithfully to those that they served in India. You'll also learn about George Lisley, and his name is pronounced and spelled different ways, but you'll see how he was one of the first to be a church planter going from North America to another country. You'll also learn about the spread of missions with the Haystack Revival Meeting and the forming of a group dedicated to take the gospel to other places, the impact of that group on Adoniram Judson and his wife Ann being willing to go with others as missionaries in their service in what is now called Myanmar. And you'll also learn about the establishment of a mission convention that supported his work, and it came to be known as the Triennial Convention. And so you will see that there were great sacrifices made by not only Adoniram Judson and his wife Ann, but also you'll learn about Hudson Taylor and the development of the faith missions movement, and how Taylor really was a man of faith who just trusted that God would provide. And again, the gospel was spread through very many parts of China under the ministry of Hudson Taylor and the China Inland Mission. You'll also learn about other missionaries such as David Livingstone, and I had the privilege of seeing where he is buried in Westminster Abbey in London, and you'll learn that he was both a missionary and explorer who had a heart for people coming to hear the gospel and be transformed by its power. You'll begin to learn about mission strategy in such things as the 3-self formula, which really emphasizes that new churches and mission work should not rely heavily on outside sources or influence, but work should be started in such a way that it can be continued by the local people. You'll also see a wide span of how God was moving through the world in mission efforts, and this culminated in a World Missions Conference in Edinburgh, Scotland in 1910. You'll be reading in your textbook to parallel the lectures about what was going on in post-Reformation missions, and some of those people we've mentioned. You'll study about them. You'll see the great century of missionary expansion that began with William Carey's ministry. It was actually longer than a century, and you'll also learn about innovations in missions in the 20th century and how there was a great effort to take the gospel to the ends of the earth before the dawn of the 21st century. You'll learn about things like the Lausanne movement that was established by Billy Graham's organization and others. So it is a time of great expansion of mission efforts around the world, and I hope and pray that you'll benefit greatly from studying this unit.